she's overflowing. Not sure if you can see what's going on there, but this track has got a river across it that has a tree across it, and that is impossible. So I have to turn around and go a long way back. Alright, we are in WILGA State Forest. WILGA? W-I-L-G-A, making our way through unknown tracks, not on the maps. That tree has come down. I don't think anyone's been along this track for a very long time. There's a lot of trees down. Had to go around a few already. It's very wet. Earlier part of the track was ankle to knee deep because of some busted dams. Water come through the dams and flooded the roads and all the track. So I thought I'd put the GoPro up and just record the track, but B, just test the GoPro a bit. The track's a bit bumpy and whatnot. You can see it looks like the track's going to disappear, but it's a bit bumpy. So I thought I might have a look at what this image stabilisation looks like as well. There's lots of trees pretty close here. I might just pull my mirrors in every now and then. I want to break another mirror. Pretty rocky here. It hasn't been rocky at all. It's been all sandy bottom, but it's very rocky through this section. Hoping I don't have to turn around at any point, because I don't really know where this track goes or where it comes out. I'm literally just driving through the bush in the middle of nowhere with no one around and with no one to help if I break anything, so let's hope that doesn't happen either. But as you can see, it's very rough. It's very tight. Got my beers rattling around in the fridge and the angle in the back. This track just looks like it goes nowhere. Looks like it's just going to disappear, but it just keeps ambling on. So we're going to keep pushing through, trying to keep ourselves away from these trees. Now harder left, harder right, rather. And we'll pop out this other side here where it clears out a bit. Oh, she's tight. Opens out a bit. There's plenty of places to come camping out here. It's very wet at the moment though, but if you wanted to stop and camp, there's places everywhere to stop and camp. There's just clearings like this everywhere. Quite a lot of vegetation at the moment. You can see on the floor, it's not low level, it's sort of ankle deep vegetation everywhere. Probably try and keep that windscreen dry so you can see how crazy overgrown this track is, how narrow it is. You can see there's bits of bark off both sides of the trees here, trees on both sides rather. Make sure we get through without touching anything. It hasn't been too overgrown because the 2A aerial hasn't hit anything as yet. What do we got here? Is this a left-right track? No. Look at that track ahead though, looks like you're just driving through forest. Could get the recip saw out, but I think I'll just drive over this guy. He doesn't look too big. Won't cause me too many issues. But I have got the recip saw. I don't have a chainsaw with me, so if it gets too just like that, I don't know if the track has just disappeared or if I meant to go left. I guess I meant to go left around this log. Try and keep wide so I hit that log and then go over these two trees. Up and over. this. This is apparently a track. Well, I'm calling it a track. It's not really a track, much of a track, is it? I'm just driving through the forest now. Not sure if I might have lost the track or what's happened. I might just stop and get out and see if I can work out what's going on. Might have a look at my phone. Where am I? Very centre. Oh, I'm very close. I'm very close to the other track that I'm trying to get to, which I think is sort of straight ahead somewhere, but I'm just going to jump out and have a look. That nose, I think she hooks a left. I'm going to reverse back up using the new old trusty old reverse camera to try and not hit any big rocks. And then we're going to turn left just here, somewhere, see if that's a track or not. Just realising there's quite a tree in the way. Can't really fit between these two trees. Don't really know how you would get through this if this was it. Is that it to the right there? Fuck. Can't really tell what you're meant to be doing here. Google isn't really much of a help, I don't think. Just looks like fucking forest. But we're not far from a track. Just don't know how to get there. I have to reverse a bit further up, I think, away from that scrub. Don't want to hit me big boulders or anything though. There's one to me right. Oh, she's rough there. She didn't like that at all. Felt a big jar through me transfer case. No, doesn't like that. What's going on? Let's try this route here. If not, I can always go back that way. I think it's fair to say that I'm lost and that ain't a track, because that's pretty fucking narrow and there's shit grown all over it, but I will have a quick look. Alright, it's not good news. We're going backwards. Going back to the fairway through some fucking tight stuff. Can't really remember which way I came in. I think it's right hand down. Starting to wish I had this mirror out. You can see where there's trees, like that one right there. Shit is hectic. Oh, there's a tree right there as well. I'm assuming I get in through here. It's fucking tight. Now, I want to start going forward, so I'm for an opportunity to turn around. Reverse down the hill a little bit into that little spot around that tree. Hopefully, there's nothing in the way. I really feel like I'm very close to the other track and making it through, but I just can't really tell where it goes. It's giving me the shits a bit, and there's a big log here and I'm going to have to negotiate. Do I do a shortcut over this palm? Yeah, fuck it. And then get back on this main track. Apologies for all the ridiculous commentary. Took a bit of tree there with me. Caught up under my back wheel for a bit. As you can see, there's a lot of trees over the road. Just putting along in first gear high. I used low range a bit when it was really wet earlier, because it was, well, it was more than puddles, it was rivers and they were running. There's been a lot of rain. So I did have it out and in low range for a little bit. Let me just negotiate. Oh, that was very close on both sides. Make my way back to that main track with the water label on it. It's labelled water. Then maybe turn left and head back towards home, or right, which heads deeper into the forest, but on a bit more of a gazetted track. Sort of listed on Google, and it's by no means a road, it's not even gravel, but there is a bit of a grey outline on Google for it, whereas this one just disappeared off into the forest, and I thought I'll follow that for a bit and see where it goes. Well, it came to a dead end. But that's alright, that's what this is about. Getting out in the bush and having a look. This is the part where it was really rocky and rough, like it hadn't been for the rest of the track. So you've seen most of this coming the other way. Go nice and slow. Ideally, I'd probably be in low range here, go even slower. But you can see here, the terrain just changes again. It goes to this almost white sand-based track that runs for the majority of the rest of this forest. Tell you what, I'm loving these weather guards. Got my windows down just a bit, just 5-6 inches or so. There's no rain, no water coming in as it drips down off those weather guards. It just clears the window, which is magic. So So the track up here, oh, this is where that big fallen tree is. There's a big tree up here that I had to drive around earlier. The track got a bit inventive. I'm hoping I can remember how I did that, which way I came from, because you can see this track just disappeared off to my left. I'm pretty sure I came in this way. I'm just by myself out here. There's no one in front or behind me. There's no one around at all. The last person I saw was a little old lady driving a 1940 Morris Minor. She had a little headscarf on. She was driving along the Greenfields Road, which is a gravel road with a lot of potholes full of water at the moment because of the recent storms we've had. And I was doing about 45-50 kilometres an hour, and she was sitting in my ass, sitting right up my ass, wanted me to go quicker. I thought, I'm in an 80 series Land Cruiser with a 2-inch lift and 33s on it, and she's in a 1940s Morris Minor. She was either very experienced on the road or had a bit of a lead foot, because she was wanting to go a lot quicker on that gravel road with heaps of potholes than I was even comfortable going. But she managed to dodge them all. I was watching her in my mirror. She managed to dodge them all, and then she pulled off into one of the farms on the side of the road. Now this is that big tree. I think I might have come through here, did I? Again, not very tight. Actually, I think I went through that little bit on my right, but we'll fit through here as well. Just left mirror's just about touching that tree, right mirror's just about touching, which means we'll get through without any dramas. So the track actually goes to the right of me a little bit, but there's this track around that big tree that's down on the track. So that's your way around. That tree really is too big to be attacked with a chainsaw. So people just made a little track around, but I think it was probably done a long time ago, because I don't think anyone's driven this track for a long time. As I said before, it's rough, it's overgrown, certainly no evidence of people being out here. A lot of trees and stuff down because of the weather. We're getting close to heading back to the main, or that first track that comes off that Greenfields gravel road. So in a moment we'll run into another main track. That track's listed as water. It's got a water sign that comes off the main track, off the main road. It just says water. It's not the name of the road. I think it's just indicating that there's water at the end of the road. That was kind of my goal as I set off on this, go and find out what that water was, see if there's a dam or a river or something at the end of it. So when we get to the end of this track here, I might just hang a right and head down and see where it goes, see what they mean by that water sign. There's another little track that runs off to my right there, and you can see here that this is starting to open up a little bit, this forest. It's really dense back there, but it's a bit more open in through here. The area on the right here would be good for a camp, not too far off the main road. You can see the first gravel track's just here, so be careful through these two trees. So this is the main gravel track that is listed as water. So let's go see where is water. I suppose the answer is that there's fucking water everywhere out here. As I said before, some of these roads are just washed out. There's one or two that I've been down that have just turned into rivers because of nearby dams that have overflowed. And those dams are just, you can see the dams just literally pouring water out onto the road, or onto the gravel road, and just flooding it. So I don't know if we'll come across something like that again down here, but let's go have a look. If you're wondering where we are, I would say we're in WILGA State Forest, W-I-L-G-A. It's to the north of Bridgetown and Catterick. I think north of Bridgetown, and then Hester, and then Catterick, and it's just to the north of that, along the Boyup Brook Bridgetown type road. I think it's called Boyup Brook Road. Whoop, there's a little skippy. Not sure if I caught that on camera, but there was a kangaroo just there, just jumped off into the bush to my left. might come out in front of me. Yeah, into WILGA State Forest. We're probably in the very sort of southern, southeastern sort of corner of WILGA State Forest, heading north, I'd say north-northwest, into the forest, coming up from Bridgetown way. It's a very thick forest. I think it's a state forest, meaning that it's it's reserved and whatnot. Probably not allowed to do very much out here other than just sort of drive through it. There's no signs on the entranceways, etc. So it doesn't seem to forbid specifically camping and whatnot. I'd be interested to know if you're able to take firewood out of here with the appropriate licenses, of course. But there's no shortage. There's plenty of trees out here. It's very thick, as you saw down that last track. So I'm just going to mosey on down this track, see what's at the end of it. I think there's a bit of a fork in the road coming. Oh, that was probably a bit deeper than I thought it was. And we'll probably stop at that fork. See, there's a tree across the road. It's probably been there for a little while. I might actually drive up all the way up and around it. Why not? That's what everyone else seems to be doing. Moved into a bit of a different sort of vegetation here. Not sure if you can tell, but the gums have turned white here on the left. Sort of almost like a river or ghost gum type tree. There might be a bit of water around back there. Maybe that's what that sign referred to. But it's sort of changed back to the sort of medium height, mostly sort of marri type trees, I think, jarrah. But you can see that there's just trees down everywhere. But so far I've been pretty lucky. Been able to get around all of them. Haven't had to do any gardening. Get too inventive other than just drive a side track. Might have met a match here. Oh no, again, you can just sort of take the wet route. Alright, there is a definite fork in the road here. So I'm just going to jump on my phone and have a look at Google, see where we are in terms of the track. There we are, that fork in the road. So left goes to a bit of a dead end. It's got a bit of a drive around sort of track to it, just a circular track at the end of it. We can turn right, there's another one of those, and then it joins up with the main track that heads back into the forest, and also that heads back out. So we're going to turn right and then follow it down, and then when we get to the next reverse fork, we'll probably turn right on that reverse fork and head back out maybe. So as I was saying, there's all these little dead end tracks that head off the track, and they've all just sort of marked on Google as having round ends to them, so you can kind of get to a point and drive around and come back, almost like they drive around a big tree or a big roundabout at the end. So I might just try and have a look at this little one coming up here on the right. I'm not really sure why they exist or what they're for, but to me they look like campsites. They're obviously not, but there might just be little areas where there's a bit of a flattening, clearing, somewhere suitable for camping. So it says there's one coming up here just on the right, just here somewhere. So we'll just keep an eye out for that. Let's see if we can turn right. Oh, there's another skippy. Oh, there's 2, 3, 4 skippies on the right there. Little one. It says just here I can turn right, but I don't know about you. I don't see anywhere where I can turn right here. So I might just keep plodding along. It's always good to see kangaroos out here. I don't mind seeing a few other animals. Favourite's always the echidna. You can find an echidna to have a look at. Take the GoPro down and have a look at him, but it's highly unlikely. I've only ever seen 2 in my life. Both of them are on camp down Dryandra and Dwelling that way, I think. you what movement really catches your eye out in the bush. These little white and blue strips moving in the bushes as we're driving past now. Them moving in the breeze really catches your eye, and so do the kangaroos. When they pop up, they really catch your eye. Just that little bit of movement. Everything's quite still, so anything that moves, you notice pretty quickly. Jump on here and see if this is the next fork. Yeah, it is. Oh, yep, that's the fork around. Comes around to the next track that actually takes us back around and onto Greenfields Road again, which heads back out. Oops. Let's just try that again. Just looking at my map, trying to work out what's the quickest way back to Bridgetown Boyup Road, where I'm not going to get too many issues with farm gates or anything like that. So I'm going to chuck a right here and go have a look at what's down this way. So you can see the fork in the road. That's a little shortcut that takes us back onto this white stuff again. Go. It's a bit wet. Which looks quite wet. Not really sure how deep that is. I'm also noticing something across the road up there. But I'm going to go into second gear low range and just push my way through. Oh, it's deeper than I thought it was. Oh, she's deep there. Certainly didn't need to go down to low range there, but I'm just going to get past this little log and then I'll pull over. Just switch her back. I can't see too many other issues popping up where I'm going to need low range, so back into high range she goes. Let's check my batteries. 14 volt, which is good. Obviously got my solar panel on my roof charging my battery, and my DC-DC charger also operating, so it should be well and truly charged. I think there'll be a few more of these, but I'm not sure if you can see like I can see, but these ones you can see the bottom of very easily. Not very deep at all. Got the little sticks in there, you want to make sure you don't run over if you can avoid it. This guy's got a bit of depth to him. You certainly can't see the bottom of him. So let's just be a little bit more careful through here. Oh yeah. A bit deep going through there. That's right. As I said, I haven't seen anyone else out here. I'm not sure, I haven't really heard of this place, to be honest. I kind of just looked it up on Google and decided I was going to drive out here. It's only 15 k's away from where I'm staying. So I thought I'd go out and have a look, see what's out there, see if there's anyone else out here, anyone driving around doing tracks and whatnot. It's not really anything that resembles, you know, real four-wheel driving. It's no, it's all quite flat, not really any hills. There's a lot of water because of the rain, but not really any mud. Not really any rock. So it's certainly not, I wouldn't really say it's very challenging in any way, shape or form, but it's just beautiful. Just to come out here and drive along some of these tracks. So. Be nice to get someone else out here, come along with me and tag along and camp up in some of these little clearings that I'm seeing to the left and right now, and set up camp, have a fire, slow cook some thick cut steaks and whatnot. Yeah, look down there to your left, there's a nice little spot clearing in there to the left. Plenty of room to camp down there. Little track down to, oh, I think I might have found why that is a track that went down to the left there. Have a look at the size of this fella. Can we drive around him? Yes, we can. That is a big log. On the track here, but again, I'm certainly not the first person out here. Someone's already done the hard work for you and found your way around everything, which is good. Haven't had too many challenges. So I think I'm kind of heading southeast-ish in this little direction I'm heading right now. I'm heading back towards Boyup Brook Road. There's a bit of a rock there, and towards the towns of. Oh, that was a bit deeper than I expected. That water came up quite high above my window when it splashed up. I had my window down, but luckily a bit of momentum pushed it outwards. Yeah, back towards, heading towards Catterick, heading towards via Boyup Brook Road. Oh shit, here we go. What the fuck's going on here? Well, that's the end of that, and I don't really know what else to do other than go all the way back. I would try and cross that river, I really would. The river's not really the issue for me, it is not deep, everything's been hard bottomed, but as you can see across there, there's fucking a big tree. Someone's tried to saw it off. Not sure if you can see what's going on there, but this track has got a river across it that has a tree across it, and that is impossible. So I have to turn around and go a long way back. I'm just gonna reverse back, but at the same time I'm also gonna just have a look and see if there's any other sort of options around. Using my reversing camera, I'm also going to reverse up to this log and just stop here for a bit. just had a quick look under the front end just to see how much of a wash she's getting. As I said, I'd be keen to give her a wash in that river. It's not a very big river crossing, certainly not a, based on everything I've been through already, it's certainly not a soft bottom crossing, but that tree across it just makes it impassable for me by myself. Someone's already chainsawed it, and I suppose in theory, if you're out here with a few blokes, you could probably put a few straps around those sections of log and tow them out, pull them out with your car. They would be bloody heavy. There's certainly no chance of getting them out any other way because they're big sections. And again, you could cut them up further, but it's not going to do much. It's still going to be heavy. So, but by myself, no one else around, and I do know the other option to get out. I know there's lots of other options to get out, but I do know another reasonably quick option to get out. Obviously, it requires me to head back through these puddles and around these trees and whatnot. But that's the joys of state forest, I guess. You don't know what's going to be out here, especially after a storm. You can see my tyre tracks coming this way. Certainly haven't seen any other tyre tracks out here, so I know it's been raining last night and a little bit this morning, so there's been no one else out here today. But I kind of really get the feeling that there hasn't been anyone else out here for a while. Perth and the southwest we've had 6 cold fronts come through in the last 8 or 9 days. So it's been wet for this part of 2 weeks, and it's been a really, I'll just watch that front one. It's been a really wet winter. So even though 4-wheel driving and camping and whatnot could not be more popular, there's more and more people doing it than ever before. Hasn't been as many people out recently, I don't think. Now there is a downhill there, and I did mention it before. There is a track that goes off to the side. I did mention it when I first saw that log, but I just wonder, at the bottom of it, there might be a little river crossing that is possible to do. It's easier to do. Well, I found the river, went 10 metres, and it's just, that is a swamp. That's not river, that is a lot of swamp. So I think we'll give that a miss. Stick to the tracks that we know. I'm not going to get over that log. Nope. Need to go a little bit further out of the way. You can see there's a track down here as well. There's tracks everywhere. Wouldn't mind going down there and having a bit of a look. He goes across that into that swamp during summertime. Not at the moment, but I'd be willing to bet that that track to my right now probably just joins back up with this track that I'm on pretty quickly. Up here on the right somewhere. It's only 10 metres to my right now, so it's kind of running parallel. Looking forward to watching this video. Not looking forward to hearing myself speak, but I'll be interested to hear if you can hear my new exhaust, 3-inch Redback exhaust system. It's a Redback Extreme Duty 3-inch. They do a few different options for the 1HDT 80 series Land Cruiser. I went with them because they had a bit of a sale on at the time. I've been looking at a few, the Legend X one, the Manta system, they're a bit more expensive again. Had about 20% off at the end of financial year, I think it was, so it took about $250 odd off the price, which was, that's the time to hit the trigger and buy it. The install went reasonably well once we got the old exhaust out. That was probably the most difficult part, was to get the old exhaust out and get the bolts off the dump pipe. But they do 3 options. They do a straight through 3-inch pipe, they do a 3-inch with a resonator, so a small muffler, if you like, that gives it a bit of a note, and they do a 3-inch with a large muffler, which makes it substantially quieter than the other, certainly than the straight through option. I went with the middle one. I went with the resonator option. I wanted a bit of a change of note. I was pretty happy to hear it sound a little bit meaner. Just go back to second for this puddle. It is quite deep from memory, this one. And I wasn't really sure about the straight through option. I don't really want to be a magnet for the cops. I don't really want to get pulled over and then have to tell me I have to change my exhaust. It took quite a few hours to take that exhaust off and put the new one on. I don't want to be doing that again anytime soon. So, but I also think that it has given it a nice little gruntier note to it. So, squeeze through there a little bit better than all the way through the first time. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'll said I'll be interested. Oh, water's coming up over there. Right, just be careful through it. Just slow down a little bit. Yeah, I said I'll be interested to hear if you can hear the difference, or if you can hear my exhaust at all from inside on the GoPro. I don't think you probably could. It's not too loud inside. It's not until you get outside and get next to the car that you notice the difference. Certainly when you see it. Alright, so we're going to hook a left here, I think, and go back in the way we came and start to head back through that forest. There's all these little humps here that some people diffs just take the top off. I don't really want to hit one of them. I don't think my car would, but always try to just avoid it as much as possible. Alrighty. So we're back on the hard stuff as much as possible. It's basically a gravel track now all the way out until Greenfields Road. Greenfields Road is also gravel, but it is very much a gravel road rather than what you might call this a gravel track. And Greenfields Road runs back out onto Boyup Brook Road. Actually, I think it might even run between Boyup Brook Road and maybe Southwest Highway. It seems to run in those sort of parallel, perpendicular directions, so I might even turn right onto Greenfields and continue to explore up that way and see if it does. Jump on the Google and see if it does come back towards the highway. As I said, not only I'm looking forward to watching this footage for those couple of ridiculous reasons. As I said, not wanting to hear myself, but also wanting to hear if I can hear my exhaust. But I'm also wanting to watch it. There's that first turn off to the right that went up to that dead end. I wanted to watch it so I can see what this image stabilization is like. I haven't had a GoPro that's had image stabilization before. I think I had a GoPro stolen a while back. I think it was a GoPro 4 Black from memory. And the 4s didn't have image stabilization. They're a great picture and everything, but these newer ones, we've got up to the GoPro 9 now. I certainly don't have a 9, this is a 7. But I think this one is 7, was the first time with its built-in image stabilization. So I'm hoping that even along those really bumpy tracks and whatnot, what did I do here? I went right, didn't I? But it's nice and smooth. You can actually watch it and don't get motion sickness from watching the footage. starting to rain again now. As I said, it's been raining, feels like it's been raining non-stop for 2 weeks. Some of these puddles and rivers and dams and whatnot will keep filling back up, which is good for down here, but not so good for camping. So I don't think this trip we're going to do too much camping. We'll probably end up staying at other people's houses for a while. So we're in the southwest. Even though you might be able to see up in the sky a little bit. There's a bit of blue sky. Certainly a lot of rain around. Sitting on about 40 kilometres an hour through here. You don't want to be going too fast on these gravel roads. I know there's a few kangaroos and animals around, and it's all about enjoying the drive. It's also taking it all in and seeing what you can see and what you can spot. Track, that's where I turn down into the abyss. I've just seen this back half of that coming back out of there. So we are very much approaching Greenfields Road now. I'm going to stop at the entry and just have a look on Google and just see if I turn right and head down that gravel road, where does that take me in? Is that worth exploring or not? I lied, this road is called Longs Road. Maybe it's called Greenfields a little bit further down. Maybe not. Must be on a different road altogether. Anyway, if I turn right, it heads into farmland. I think it's a bit of a trek back to the highway from there, so we're going to head back towards Bridgetown Boyup Brook Road by turning left, and then following that until we hit Greenfields Road, and then Greenfields out to Boyup Brook and turn right onto Greenfields Road. So let's do that and make our way back. As I said, this is Longs Road. This is the one which there was a lady in a little green Morris Minor from about 1940s. It was a very old car, the oldest I've seen in a long time. She had a little headscarf on wrapped around. She was out for a country drive by the looks of things, and this is about as fast as I was willing to go along this road. It's about 55, maybe 60 km an hour. The speedo's a bit out. The road's in good condition. It's not really gravelly because it's wet, certainly not dusty or anything like that, but you will notice as we drive along there are a lot of potholes, and I think that's the farm there on the right that she turned up into. She was behind me for a little way. So she was following me through this section here, and as you can see there's some sticks on the road and some potholes and whatnot, and I was doing 50, 55, whatever I was doing around these bends, and she was sitting right up my butt. If she could have, if I'd let her, she would have overtaken me. But look at all these potholes. suspension going on in a 1940 Morris Minor. But she obviously knew the road, probably drives it every day. But I don't really know this road very well. I was just sort of exploring and have a look around, see how to get into WILGA State Forest. So I was just putting along. I'd come off green fields where it was very, very, oh, that's a big pothole, very, very wet. Oh, what we got there? That's a fox. See that little fox? I think I got him on camera. He's still next to me. He's still, look, he's little, but he's still next to me in the field. I'm just gonna, there he goes, look, can you see him running? See him running in the field there still straight ahead. He stopped and looking at me. Little fox. It wasn't a big fox, that one. Little cute one, fluffy one, that one. Actually thought it was a big rabbit first, but it was a fox, and hopefully I got that on camera. Yeah, look, quite a lot of water on the side of the roads and stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's normal to drive a very old car very fast along this road, but for me, this road's not the greatest of nick, thanks to a lot of this rain. That's my story for the day. Glad we saw that little fox. I'll get that footage off and maybe edit it up. So I think this is Greenfields Road here. There's a bit more trees around Greenfield from memory. Oh, it is Greenfields Road. Oh, stuff that up. I want to go down there. I've already been down this road, pretty much the whole length of it. Earlier today, I went to the left, the section that I'm about to reverse down. I went down here, which you won't be able to see. I went down there. I came in the way we're facing, and I went behind us. And it got very wet very quickly, very, very wet. I was actually driving in a river. The road just became flowing water. I recorded a little bit of that on my phone because at the time I didn't have the GoPro mounted on the windscreen. So this is Greenfields Road. Heads back out to Boyup Brook Road. On the right is very much a tree farm. On the left is normal sort of farming area, although a lot of the area on the left has also been tree farmed, but then it's been cut down, it's been logged already. Not sure if you'll be able to see any of that, but it's very much just stumps in the ground over there to the left. I'll be able to see some straight ahead, all those stumps in the ground straight ahead there on the left. And on the right, it's I don't know, it's a sort of medium-aged tree farm, I would say. Maybe 10-metre high trees, 8-metre high trees, the whole way across. Very standard, very uniform, so you can tell it's a tree farm of blue gum or something like that. I'm not sure if you can see all this water on the side of the roads, but just about every paddock is just full of water. Lowest point is just flooded. There's lots of dams. You can see a dam over here on the right hand side. That'd be absolutely chock-a-block full of water as well. Surprised it's not actually flowing out onto the road like some of the other ones a bit further down the road are. Maybe it's a bit higher up, maybe that's why. back out onto the black stuff. Boy up Brook Bridgetown Road. That's Greenfields Road that we just came out of. This is Green Bushes of Boy Up Brook Road, which runs straight across to the highway out to Greens Bushes. As I said, I knew there was a way that you could get out that way, but it's a fair way to head back that way to the highway and then turn south again. So we'll go into the back of Bridgetown along the Boy Up Brook Bridgetown Road. I'll probably speed this section up, have a time lapse for this section. Not too much else to look at. Bridgetown. We're on the Bridgetown Boyup Brook Road just here. Heading into the back of Bridgetown. We've got we've got the cidery, probably the biggest tourist attraction in town, coming up on the right. Sun's out. Tell you what, she's busy. A few people in there today. It's good. On into town and pick up something for lunch and or dinner. I reckon that was 6 minutes from Forest to bakery. So it's a good little spot. I'm glad I went and explored that. Definitely be back. As I said, hopefully with others. Show them around a bit and maybe camp out there. Bush fire, maybe when it's a bit less wet. Cold's not too much of an issue, but always have a bit of a fire. Get some coals going and whatnot, but when it's pissing down rain, it's a bit of a adventure. Be nice if a couple of other people came along as well, because as you can see here, pub here on the left, pub here on the right. Pub down here on the left once you get around this construction site section. This bloke turning right's doing his best to cause an accident. The old yes I'm going, no I'm not trick. Alright, that's where I'm going to finish off, back into the heart of Bridgetown. IGA on your right, bakery on your left. Peace out.